Continuing factoring, it is a blast. Okay, this is when they get a little bit difficult because we have a number in front of the squared term. So we have 10n squared minus 7n minus 6. The factors of 10 are 1, 2, 5, and 10, and nothing divides into this. So that means that we can't get a GCF out of here. So what we're going to do next is multiply the 6 and the 10. So 10 times 6 is 60. Write the factors of 60 down. 1 times 60, 2 times 30, 3 works, 4 works, 5 works, 6 works. Now then, we want to subtract and get 7. Which one of these subtracts and gives us 7? The 5 and the 12. Okay, so I'm going to use the 5 and the 12, put the 12 first. So we're going to write down 10n squared minus 12n plus 5n minus 6. Do you see how the negative 12 plus 5 gives us a negative 7? So if there's a number in front of here, you got to multiply them, write out the factors, subtract and get that middle term, and then use these two to do that. Now then, put the largest factor first when you do this. We could factor by grouping now. Okay, so I could take a 2n out of these two. So 2n parentheses, divide 2n into these two. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. N squared divided by n is n. Then I'm going to divide negative 12n by 2n. That's going to end up giving me a minus 6. Notice that I have a 5n minus 6 here, don't I? There's no GCF of 5n minus 6, so my GCF is 1, and I'll write down 5n minus 6. Notice that the 5n minus 6 repeats. So this is the process here. You got to multiply the last and first term, write down the factors, subtract, get the middle term, and rewrite the problem, and then factor by grouping. So my 5n minus 6 drops, parentheses, 2n plus 1 goes last. If you want, you can scratch out your 5n minus 6s because you dropped them out. Number 6, same thing. We're going to multiply the 6 and the 10, and we're going to get the same factors. So 6 times 10 is 60, and then just rewrite the factors. 3 times 20, 4 times 15, 5 times 12, 6 times 10. 7 won't work, 8 won't work, 9 won't work, and you're back to 10. Now then, we want to subtract and get 7. Subtract and get 7. So how can we subtract and get 7? I could use the 12 and the 5 again, can't I? So I'm going to write down 6b squared. Now then, my 7's positive, so I'm going to make the 12 positive minus 5b minus 10. Notice I just rewrote 7b as 12 minus 5. It's the same problem in it. Now then, factor by grouping. I could take a 2b out of here, can I? Or actually a 3b. So I could take a 3b out of these two, can I? So write down, or 6b actually. 6 is our GCF. So write down 6b parentheses. This will divide out to b plus 2. So if I multiply this by this, I go up here, don't I? Now then, this is tricky. Positive, positive, minus, minus. Positive, positive, minus, minus. The signs are opposite, aren't they? These two signs are opposite these two signs, so this sign's going to be a minus. And I could take a 5 out of here, can't I? 5 is my GCF. So I'm going to divide negative 5b and negative 10 by negative 5. So negative 5b divided by negative 5 is b. Negative 10 divided by negative 5 is plus 2. Notice that my plus 2's repeat. That will happen every time. And then these scratch out. All that's left is 6b minus 5. This right here is really tricky. Just repetition and you'll get it down.